Thank you, thank you, thank you. Many moons ago, I was born in a tiny, tiny country, but beautiful country named Saint Lucia. I was born to very young parents. And if you know about growing up in tiny countries or developing countries, you know that many people celebrate the DIY lifestyle. And that's the do-it-yourself lifestyle. So in our country, my dad made his own toys as a kid. People build their own houses. And the most important part about this talk is people cut their own hair. So I'm growing up in my house and my dad's really old school. My dad is the guy that needs to do everything himself. He's not gonna pay for a barber. He's the guy that's gonna cut your hair. My dad had only one hairstyle, and it was the buzz cut. The buzz cut was him just buzzing my hair down, and that was unfavorable. So for 13 years, I was getting this buzz cut, and I hated it. So going down the line, I grew up, I got to 13 years old, and I was sick of these haircuts, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna cut my own hair, because I didn't have any money, my dad wasn't gonna send me to the barber, and I decided to cut my own hair. Well, I'm 13 years old, and you could imagine with a clipper and a 13-year-old cutting their own hair, it's not a good situation. I ended up cutting my hair, and I had cheetah spots on my head, bald spots all over. It was horrible. So this comes to my first part of the presentation, the problem statement. And you know what? When you have a problem, it's time to solve it. So what I ended up doing was I kept cutting my hair and messing up, and I realized that there was a problem. And I realized that my dad was giving me bad haircuts, and then I realized that I couldn't cut my hair perfectly. See, the problem was I couldn't get the perfect lineup or hairline on my hair. So what I ended up doing was cutting up some plastic templates in my house, from dish detergent bottles to folders. And I ended up making these templates to put against my head so I could run the clipper or the razor and they wouldn't give me any bald spots. So I ended up making a prototype. Actually, this is one of my first prototypes that I used as a kid for many years. So what I say to you at the beginning of this presentation is always write down your problems. My problems were my dad was cutting my hair. I can't cut my hair. I can't cut my hair perfectly. Write down those problems because you can solve them at a different time. I have an inventor book. I write down all my problem statements in an inventor book. Grab your phone, write down a problem when you have it, and then you can solve it whether you're sitting on the toilet or you're in the bath. I come up with inventions in my sleep. So I solved my problem. 15 years went by and I used this tool every other week before job interviews, before dates. You know, growing up, you were trying to be cool. You were trying to go on dates. You were trying to have the great clothes, but you had to have the great haircut at the same time. So 15 years went by, and you know, I didn't really think I had anything. It was just a little tool that sat in my bathroom, and it wasn't anything to me. So one day, I didn't want to do a chore, and my wife got mad at me, and she told me, "You never finish what you start." And you know what? It hit me harder than I'm lazy or content, and I never finish what I start. It actually hit me as if I wasn't actually doing things for my life or reaching for my goals. And my friend Andy Enriquez, he says, Andy Enriquez says, show up for your life. And I felt like I wasn't showing up for my life. I wasn't taking that jump. So I did the chore because I didn't want to get in trouble with my wife. And then I went to my inventor book and I said, you know what, maybe I should go to a patent attorney and show them my inventions. Now, I'll show you the first page of my book and the second page of my book was that little plastic template tool that I used for 15 years and was by my sink. And I didn't really think I had anything. I ended up patenting this product. What a patent is basically you saving your invention so that no one else can copy you. And if they copy you, they either have to settle or you can sue them. It's intellectual property. Intellectual property is your rights, your inventions, your innovation. So I went and I patented this product. I was dead broke. I mean, I used up all my money. My bank accounts were on E. I didn't know what to do. The first thing I said was, I need to raise some money. All right, so what I ended up doing was bringing this prototype to all these pitch competitions. And I'm standing in front of a crowd like you guys, and I'm here like, the cut buddy. It's gonna save everyone. It's gonna cut your hair. You're gonna do it by yourself. Who wants to go with me? Who wants to invest? And I remember doing these pitch competitions and just hearing crickets in the crowd, just like the silence that I hear right now. No one really believed in my product because everyone wanted the sexy things like the new apps or artificial intelligence. They were like, the cut buddy, a hair template, no technology. So no one invested in my product. I had to bootstrap my own business because no one wanted to give me money. And what is bootstrapping? Bootstrapping is basically holding yourself up by the bootstrap and investing in your own company until you're profitable. So I used my own money to manufacture my products. Now remember, I was already broke from these patents. Now I am super broke. If I make any mistake and if this doesn't work out, I am homeless. My back is against the wall. It's robo-dope like Ali. I have to fight and punch against the corner. So the only thing I knew when I got my products was to grab my product and do these YouTube videos. So I have this cool rap music like dun, 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 and I'm cutting my hair and I'm feeling cool. I'm just like, buy the cut buddy. It can edge up your hair easily. And you know what? I'm starting to get 2 to 5 sales a day. It's not bad. Maybe I could pay off some of my student loans, but I started seeing these notifications on my YouTube video and they're popping up. One of them said, that guy got a 5 head. A 5 head? Humans have 4 heads. What does he mean a 5 head? Someone else said he has a McDonald's arch line on his head. I'm like, McDonald's arch line on my head? Someone said that I look like a Dragon Ball Z character. And if anybody knows anime here, Dragon Ball Z and all other anime cartoons are very animated with their foreheads. The one that really got me, which was very clever, was someone said I was a head of my class. And they put head in quotations. Do you guys know what was happening at that time? I was selling a hairline product for cutting your hairline, and I was going bald. Yes, I'm bald now. So people were roasting me. They were mean. They were critical. It hurt me so bad. I was just depressed. I remember being in my bed, almost crying, and my wife rubbing my back saying it was going to be okay. I was ready to give up. Things were going downhill for me. And just a few days later, I got the most important email of my life. And it was a veteran with disabilities. And this veteran said, I take medication and my hands shake. And because of my hands shake, I can't cut my hair perfectly. So I bought your product, and with your product, I can steady my hand and cut my hair perfectly. And I would like to thank you for making such a beautiful product so that people with disabilities can have nice haircuts too. And given the fact that I was ready to give up, and I got an email like this, it really lit the fire in my stomach because I realized that it wasn't just me trying to get rich on this patent or this invention. It was really about solving people's problems. That was my mission. It was to create confidence through a fresh haircut. I started looking at my reviews, and it was veterans, it was service members and active military duties. It was the salon artist who was trying to learn how to do the edge up. It was the mother with 2 autistic children. These are real reviews I was reading. So what I realized, it was time for me to back up and research what my target markets were. And I realized with doing that is I could identify influencers that can carry the product and talk about the product. So I exited myself as the model because my hair was going away. I know I'm handsome and everything, but that hairline wasn't looking good. So I went on YouTube and I found these influencers with great hairlines, great personality, great engagement. These influencers were micro-influencers, so they weren't expensive. So what I offered them was a commission on each sale. I gave them a coupon code so they could give to the customer, and that created just a community of beneficial relationships. So the customer was getting 10% off, the influencer was getting 10% on the sale, and I was getting the sale at the end of the day. Remember, my sales were these measly 2 to 5 sales a day when people were roasting me. These influencers boosted my sales to 50 sales a day, 100 sales a day, 400 sales a day. I'm in my garage packing packages like crazy, running to the post office, and the post office workers were saying, "What's up, Mr. Cut Buddy?" I felt famous. And on March 5th, 2016, 11:37 and 27 seconds a.m., my phone started going buzz, 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 ding, 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 ding. And I just didn't know what was going on. I thought it was my Galaxy just overheating. And I looked, and there were just a bunch of notifications. They were sales. I had gone viral that day with one of my influencers, 10 million views on one video, thousands of sales in just a few hours. I was rich. Things were amazing. I was successful. I mean, it was successful to a point that PayPal froze my account and thought I was money laundering. That's how crazy it was. GQ wrote about us. Black Enterprise wrote about us. NPR, How I Built This, made a cartoon about us, and they even put the McDonald's arch line on my hairline to show my struggles. Things were going so great that even Shark Tank contacted me and gave me the break of my lifetime, where I was able to go onto Shark Tank and get a deal from my idol, Damon John, who had been wearing his clothes as a 13-year-old FUBU, which he invented, and I was using the prototype of my product. So it's full circle. I ended up with my idol. And that was all because I decided to write down my problem, solve my problem by coming up with a solution with a simple invention, then protecting my idea with a patent, and then launching it bootstrap-wise. All right? So this led me and my partners to have a licensing deal. And what licensing is when you have a patent and you have a protected product because you are the inventor. A big corporation is interested in your product and ends up giving you royalties to rent your idea and put it in all the retail stores. So now you could go to tens of thousands of stores and get my product. And now I get to sit back and retire and live on a little truffle farm in Pittsburgh. And now I'm happy, you know? But you know what? When I really think about it, and I'm gonna go a little bit off script here, is am I really happy at the end of the day? Yeah, I'm very successful, the product's booming, things are going great, but am I happy? You know when you go to class, right, as like a third grader, and they tell you, draw the image of happiness at art class, and you draw the mother, the father, the little daughter holding the parent's hand, and the son holding the other parent's hand, and then even the dog and the cat are holding their hands too, and there's a nice green lawn, and then there's a big house behind them, there's a nice car, and then there's a beautiful yellow sun. Just happiness on the whole family. You know what I did? I never wrote down or drew or defined what my happiness was before I started this journey. I never actually wrote down what were my tangible and intangible things that I wanted. So maybe I wanted a modest home. Maybe I wanted a family. Maybe I wanted a dog in a nice yard. Maybe I wanted a Lamborghini. I never wrote those things down. So I was chasing a magical creature. I was trying to impress something that didn't exist. Throughout the times I launched my invention, I should have celebrated. The time when I went viral, I should have celebrated. When I went on Shark Tank and got a deal on national TV, I should have celebrated, but I didn't, because I didn't ever define what my happiness was. So this whole time I was depressed and unhappy. So what I challenge you to do is write down your problems, protect your idea, but most importantly, before you do these things, I want you to define your happiness so that every time something great happens in your life, you celebrate like there's no tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, your happiness is most important. Your mental health is most important. I want to see everybody here solve their problems and be happy. Thank you.